Be back in the morning when the sun starts to rise. So mama, don't stress your mind. So mama, don't stress your mind.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into my channel. It's your girl Nesha back with another video, honey. So today's video is my review recap of Love and Hip Hop New York Season 9 Episode 2, and it's called The Blame Game. Alright, y'all, so it was an okay episode. As you guys know, I'm warming up to these episodes because I never watched the Love and Hip Hop New York before reviewing this season or whatever. Alright guys, so we start this episode off at Juelz and Kimbella's house. Juju comes over. The plan here is for Kimbella to let her know everything that Juelz is going through regarding this case. You know, the one where he ran off, but he really didn't know that there was a gun in his bag. But then they was like, it's a gun in your bag. But he said he ran off before he knew that they was going to stop him because of a gun in the bag. I was like, okay, Juelz, if that's how we want to play it, let's go there. But Juju is here. She's informing her on everything that's going on, the decision that they have to make as a family. It's a really tough one. You know, he can be gone for 18 to 24 months if he takes the plea, and then up to 5 years if he takes it to trial. Juju says, you know what, I can relate. My pops was in jail for 20 years. He took it to trial. They gave him 15 years, and then he ended up doing 20. Okay, and I don't know if you guys know, but I think I've mentioned it before in my reviews. My dad was in the system for 20 years as well. I don't know. I guess some damn judges was just passing out 20 years here and there. Just take it, here you go. But I'm his only child, and he missed 20 years of my freaking life, so it can break families. Like, it's a tough situation. You know, thankfully my dad is home. I'm assuming that Juju's dad is home, and we move forward from that, but it's the time that's wasted. So I'm really hoping that they're able to get it together. You know, she talks about his drug use and how going to jail for him helped him because he didn't think that he was going to be able to break away from the habit. And she also talks about how she wished she could be there more and do things more. But my thing is, I don't want her to go beating herself up because of some demons that he's struggling with. You know what I mean? We all have those things. And unfortunately, there's some things that we have to pray, fast, gather the willpower, and to beat ourselves. There's some things that people, no matter who's in our life, they're not able to get us to the place that we need to be. You know what I mean? So I don't want her beating herself up because of something that probably wouldn't have changed had she been doing things differently. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's a sad situation. Don't want to see him away from his family. But you know, Yandy is going through the same thing. Unfortunately, she don't want Yandy around, so that's another story for another day. Alright guys, so now we are at Alexis Sky's grandmother's house. She's babysitting the baby. Is her name Alaya? I can't think of the baby's name, but she's babysitting the baby. But she actually considers the child her child, and she says that this is basically, you know, she's clinged on to this baby ever since she lost her own sister and her husband. And so Alexis Sky acknowledges that. We talk about the fact that now that she's in New York, that it's harder for her to, I guess, get her Medicaid. And I was like, girl, you qualify? Baby, because down here in Texas, honey, you got to be damn near on the street before you can qualify for any type of assistance. So I'm interested to see what Medicaid program you're on. And she has hydrocephalus, which is a grade 4 brain bleed. And then she talks about the stents that's in her head that helps the fluid drain to her stomach. She's had 4 surgeries. She's taken therapy, physical therapy, stimulant therapy. What else? It was like other treatments. I mean, the baby is going through it, honey. The baby is going through it, and I'm so, you know what? I always think that's a strong mama to be able to deal with a child that is basically a special package. You know what I mean? I always say God bless the right ones because not every mother is able to take care of a child that requires that much of assistance, you know. But then we also talk about the fact that she needs her father in her life, and she tells us that Lucci's been going around claiming this baby. And I'm like, what hell, if Lucci want to go around claiming the baby, then let his ass take care of all these doctor bills that you run around here with, and you trying to qualify Medicaid and shit, and he over there at parties spending $20K like it ain't nothing. How about you, since he want to claim the baby, why don't you tell him to come over here, sign his damn birth certificate, and give you some support? Because although you said you didn't need the money, sis, if you on Medicaid, boo, you need the money. So I was a little confused as to like how she tried to like switch that and was like, well, I don't need the money because I make my own money, but you just said in the other scene that you were on Medicaid and it did not transfer, or you were trying to work on getting it transferred or something like that. I was a bit confused by that. But Grandma kept it all the way 100. Although you really couldn't understand what she was saying, but she kept it 100 with you. Why do you even care? Because she got to talking about Fetty Wap, and Grandma was looking like, look, I done heard all this shit before. Why do you care? Do you really care? And she's like, look, you don't need somebody that's basically part-time. You need a full-time dad. You don't want nobody to be inconsistent. If he comes around this baby just whenever the hell he feels like, the baby doesn't need that. The baby needs somebody to be consistently in their life. You got me. The baby can come stay with me. But as far as you caring about trying to build that, so basically Granny is like, look, you need to be focused on your baby, the baby's health. Don't be focused on nobody that don't want to even freaking be there. Then if you don't want to be there, don't force them to be there. I'm completely with Grandma. Seem like Grandma just sick of that shit. She don't want to hear about Fetty and that little eye no more. She said, look, I'm done. He don't want to, you can tell that it's been some stress over there dealing with the whole father and the baby mama. You can tell because Grandma looking like shit. I ain't got time for this. Why we even talking about him? Do you care? Alright guys, so now we're in the studio with Juelz and Mano. Now, Mano talks, well, first Juelz says that the judge allowed him to get out again. So we know last time he let him get out with the kids. So this time he let him get in the studio. But it's necessary because Juelz need to get some money prepped, especially if he finna go do some time. We don't know how much time, he hasn't decided yet, but especially, right? So then Mano comes in to have a little cute heart-to-heart, and Mano tells him, you know what I mean, I've been in the system since I was, well, wait, he said he went to jail when he was 16, spent a decade there. Oh my gosh, I was like, and I can relate to this because I have a brother that went in at 15, he got out at 18. But the thing is I feel like when you put kids in there like a cage, like a box, like they don't understand the extent of what they did. And it further proved my theory when Mano said, you know what I mean, we just thought it was a good idea. We didn't know that we can get into the amount of trouble that we got into. And if you're curious on what he did, I'm gonna fill you in, girl. I had to go find it. So apparently when he was 16, he robbed a drug dealer, and then they decided, yo, let's hold him for ransom and let's get some money. And it ended up backfiring on him or whatever. So then I was like, damn, I honestly didn't realize they cared about drug dealers like that. It seemed to me you'd be wanting to get both of them, the one that kidnapped him and the drug dealer. But it seemed like they care about all lives matter. And so that's what happened. He went to jail because he kidnapped the drug dealer that he had robbed, him and I guess some other guys or whatever. So then he's telling them that, and he said, you know what, that's gonna be, oh, faith and hope, that's what he said. Basically, that's all you're gonna have, you're gonna hold on to, that's your lifeline, you know, just hang in there, do what you gotta do for your family or whatever, giving them some good advice from a person that's been in jail for 10 years. All right, guys, so now we got Jonathan, Kimbella, and Sin. They're out sitting somewhere, child, and they're talking about all this stuff. First of all, we're talking about the fact that Jonathan is single again. He's back on the prowl. I was like, okay, Jonathan, feeling himself or whatever. And so we talk about that. We talk about Kimbella and this, everything that she's going through. We talk about Sin and her sex life or lack thereof. We also talk about Yandy versus Kimbella. Okay, the whole issue there. What's going on? Why you got like what's up, sis? Why you so mad with Yandy? You know what I mean? That y'all have a relationship there. Y'all have history or whatever. And then she says, you know what? She told me to pull up on Lil Mendici's birthday party. Apparently they had some beef with the baby mama, and allegedly Yandy told her pull up. When she pulled up, she threw Kimbella under the bus like, yo, I only asked you to come to the party. I wasn't asking you to like pull up on nobody, sis. Just come to the party and have fun. And so she was a little bit confused as to how you flipped from telling me to pull up to telling me to chill. Like what's the hell? What's going on here? Then she also talked about how Yandy sent her a birthday wish via the social media instead of texting her. Like, sis, you got my number, you could have texted me the same shit that you put on social media, but it's all to make you look good. And I can relate. I know so many damn people that'll send you some long beautiful posts on your birthday on Facebook, and I'm like, bitch, I ain't talked to you in about 6 months, but now we besties on the damn social media. Okay, but you got my number, right? The shit ain't never changed. So I can understand where Kimbella is coming from when she says that. And I can also relate to pulling up for your friend and your friend switching that shit. But according to Yandy is like, no, I never told you to do that. So who the hell knows what really happened? If it did happen in previous seasons, I need y'all to let me know, because I'm like, okay, did you misunderstand what she was saying, Kimbella? Did you get a little scared, Yandy? Like, I don't know. I don't know how that turned into what it did. So we also talk about Jonathan and Juju. And Jonathan, first of all, you telling Kimbella how she needs to fix her relationship, you know, reconcile some things. But then when we start talking about Juju, you don't want nothing to do with the bitch. And the reason why is because you feel like she's faker than a $2 bill. And I'm like, wait, Jonathan, I got like 6 $2 bills. This shit ain't fake. Okay, so Jonathan's issue with Juju is that it was an idea that he presented to her. It was supposed to be for the both of them. She took the idea and ran with it. It was supposed to be regarding radio, maybe a radio podcast show, I don't know. But he feels some sort of way because I confided in you regarding this. It was supposed to be a joint venture, and then you went and ran with it and you didn't mention me, blah, 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 blah. And so that's his issue with her. So again, y'all, I never understood with these damn reality shows, why can't y'all just pick up the phone and talk to each other? You don't have to keep trying to, well, did you talk to her? No, I'm not talking to that bitch. I'm like, what? What? It doesn't even make any sense. How do you plan to understand another person's point of view, which may not be as bad as you think it is? How do you plan to understand it if you never talked to her? I just never understood that. Alright, so now we're at Yvonne's boutique in Harlem. Now, if y'all don't remember, in the previous scene, Jonathan was talking all this big shit about her. Basically, he don't want Juju at this damn party. He said she's faker than a $2 bill, which is not fake because I have one. And then he also said that basically she slid in and took his shit, and he just can't respect nobody who does that. Okay? So now we're at Yvonne's boutique in Harlem. And Juju and Yandy meet up I guess they both been booked and busy, so they meet up to talk to each other. Yandy talks about Jonathan's party, which she is invited to, and then Juju says, well, I wasn't invited. Oh, you know, girl, he might have been busy, but you know, you can come, girl. You know, Jonathan just crazy. And then we also start talking about Kimbella and this whole Yandy situation, which honestly, guys, again, I feel like it possibly was a misunderstanding. If it was that you called that girl and then you flipped on her, Yandy wrong for that shit. But then Kimbella, if you misunderstood, I feel like you should have asked for clarification. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't let no bitch have you out there looking crazier than she wants to look. I'm just saying. But Yandy does tell us that she misses those babies and she wants to be there for Kimbella and Juelz, and she can't do that if they can't rectify the situation that they have at hand. Yandy also tells us that Kimbella was upset with her because when Juelz went to jail, when everything happened at the airport, that she reached out to, I think Yandy reached out to Kimbella, and then, well, first she reached out to his family and then reached out to Kimbella, and then Kimbella was a little bit upset because you reached out to the family first before her. Now, honestly, I can see where Kimbella is coming from, because she's like, yo, we supposed to be like tight, airtight, like what's right. Then you reach out to me, see how I'm doing first, and then you reach out to the others. But then I can see where Yandy's coming from. It's like, but that's his family though. Even though she's still his family, that's like his family, like his blood family. I want to reach out to them, make sure they're good, and I'll reach out to you. Either way it go, hell, just send a damn group message. We don't have to keep talking about this. Alright, so now we're at Joe and Sin's house. Now, Sin has been sleeping in the baby's room because she upset she have not been knocking the boots that she wanted to. She don't feel pretty. She looked like an ass when she jumped out that damn car in New York and just thought she was about to just win him over, but he really didn't. He left, allegedly. I don't know. He probably didn't. Probably saw him around the block. Picked her right back up. Either way it go, you know, she realizes that she's going through a whole lot right now. She just wants to feel sexy. He understands. He makes her breakfast in bed, honey. He gave her some cereal, some mean cereal, and a hot piece of toast, honey, and some orange juice. And she just thought that it was the best thing ever, but it was a good gesture, you know what I mean? Plus, he said that the chef wasn't there, was off that day. But then he also tells her, you know, I can relate to what you're going through. I'm so sorry that, you know, you feel like it makes me love you any less, because I don't. I love you. I love who you are. You're beautiful. And to make it up to you, I want to take you to Cabo, and I'm going to put in work, because I'm going to be off work. You know, I'm taking off a week from my real job, but I'm going to put in work in that bed just for you, my baby. And she's all happy, and she says, you know what, I need to jump out of the cars more. And then he's like, no, you don't need to do that more. Because honestly, really, I agree with him. It just shows you a bit immature, and you're throwing tantrums when you can't get your way. But he can understand where you're coming from, so he's willing to, you know, to make it work. Alright, so now we're with Juju and Kimbella. They meet up, they're having drinks, they're talking about this Yandy situation. We also talk a little bit more about Juelz, and then we go to talking about the party, Jonathan's party. And then Kimbella's a little confused because the last she heard, Jonathan didn't really care for Juju. So the fact that Juju was going to a party was a little interesting, but what she said was you need to talk to him and, you know, figure out what's going on with y'all. On the way to the studio. Now, I'm like, okay, they gotta be so dramatic, playing a song called Play Me Like a Fool the whole time. And I say, Lord, just let him be there. Just let him be there to have the conversation with her about this baby so that we can come to an understanding. Just take the damn test, okay? So anyway, we're in the car. On our way, she's flipping through her paperwork, looking out the window for dramatic effects. Get to the studio, we put your bag down, your coat down, and you just sit down and you're just chilling. You know, you're just waiting on them to show up, because the longer you wait on them, the more pissed you get because of what you're having to go through for the baby. But you're just waiting, you're being patient. And before long, you realize you've been waiting there for a very long time. And instead of picking up the phone and calling this nigga and seeing where the hell he at because he told you to be there, you decide to get your coat and your bag, turn the light off, and you leave. I say, well, he stood your ass up, girl. Dang, he running from that baby. Listen, all she wants him to do is just be in this child's life. Just be there. Be the father. You know, love on her and help me with her, you know, because I don't care what she says. She need help with them bills. Just help me with her, you know, just be there for her, love on her, take the test. And he stood her up. So we're at Juelz and Kimbella's house, and she calls him on FaceTime, or he FaceTimes her, and then talks to the children. The children are, yay, happy daddy, whatever, you know. I'm sure they talk to him quite often, so that was definitely rehearsed. And then we have where she goes over into the room. She's laying on the bed, and he's just, you know, talking to her, and said that, oh, this is when the ankle bracelet beeps. And I was like, why is it beeping? And she's even confused. Why is it beeping? Then it says low battery. Okay, it lets us know it's a low battery. So then he tells her, you know, I'm just going to give you a call back when the kids go to sleep, and then we'll basically have our adult time or whatever. He also told, within this scene, he told the little boy, Juelz, that he was going to be the man of the house. He done been promoted, child, to the man of the house. And she said that it really hurts her to know, you know, just go back to the whole thing. We're sad that he's going to be gone, and I'm not insensitive to it. Like I told y'all, I went through that before. All right, guys, so now we're at Jonathan's party, y'all, and it seemed to be a success, but it ran his blood pressure up a little bit to where he just couldn't take it. He said this was the worst party ever. okay, because of all the mess that was going on at his party. But mind you, Yandy had invited Juju, and he didn't really want Juju there. And then Kimbella, we already know how she felt about Yandy, okay? But he somehow convinced her to come to the party anyway. So we knew it was going to be some sort of drama. I guess just not that much, okay? I don't know. But it's an all-black party. He said he wanted everybody to be black and mysterious. Sin is there. She's dancing with him. And Anais comes walking in. I don't know why I love this girl. She's just freaking crazy to me. I don't know. She's funny. So anyway, she walks in completely not dressed for the occasion because she decided to do her own thing. And I'm going to put the picture up here. So she's doing her own thing, honey. So then she's singing happy birthday to him, breaks it all the way down for him. I said this girl is a character. Okay, so then Juju walks in, and somehow Juju and Jonathan, they start having words or whatever. Now, it stems from Kimbella. Now, he's saying that Kimbella was talking mess about Juju as well, which I don't recall that part of the brunch. What was on screen was that you were talking mess about Juju, and Kimbella was basically just letting you know, yes, she's tough to get into, but once you get in, she's really a cool person. And so I didn't understand that. You called her fake, and you basically said that she stole your idea. You were doing all the talking from what I can recall from the scene or whatever. So that's going back and forth. Kimbella's getting upset. Look, you don't need to be constantly lying on me. And then he's steady saying what he's saying. Then finally, Anais says, look, we need to hold, stop. This is not classy. This is your birthday. And you need to be having fun. Enjoy yourself. Like, why are you acting like this? And then she tells Juju, basically checks on her class. Because apparently, at the last, I can't remember verbatim, but at the last reunion, they had words where Juju, well, not really words. Juju basically told her she didn't want whatever the issue was with Yandy to escalate. Okay, so so basically that's what happened, right? But we all know that Juju is classy. So then Anais played on that and was basically, no, ain't you classy? No, you need to be classy. No, you're not classy because I'm classy, and basically was pissing Juju off, okay? So then Juju says, you a has-been, while she's walking out. She said, oh, I'm a has-been, but you ain't never was. I said, oh, okay. They just a hot mess. But during this time, Yandy peeps her head into the situation. And then this is, you know, how Kimbella feels about her. So then Kimbella, at least, she pulls her over to the side. And she's having a conversation with her about how she feels, you know, about the birthday post and about her reaching out to her a week before Juelz was supposed to get out. We even talk about how she felt some sort of way when you told me to pull up, I pull up, but then you throw me under the bus. And so again, it's like, we really mad about that? Like, that's an issue? Like, I mean, there's issues that can be had, but this is not an issue. Like, you really upset because you chose to come up there? What's up, sis? You were supposed to come to the party. And I'm like, Yandy, I really hope you're just not flipping some shit and making yourself look good and you're not having this girl out here looking bad. I really hope. But then, instead of Yandy looking at it as, you know what, that was my friend, she pulled up. At least I know, even if it wasn't in the way that I asked her to pull up, at least I know she's a ride or die bitch and she did pull up for me. And instead of Yandy looking at it like that and saying, yo, sis, okay, look, I'm sorry that I was late sending you a support text. I'm sorry that I was late 8 o'clock sending you a birthday post, but it shouldn't have been a post, it should have been a text. Sis, I understand. I'm so sorry, but look, we got to put our feelings regarding each other to the side for a minute. We can build on that, but then we also have the situation at hand, 2 huge ones. Juelz going to jail potentially for between 18 and 24 months, possibly 5 years. And then we also have kids that have built a great bond together that need to be around each other. So sis, though we got so much we can be upset about, there are 2 main things that we need to really be focused on. So I'm like, come on, Kimbella, like, let it go. But instead of her being an adult about the situation and them putting their differences aside for the bigger picture, Kimbella decides to walk away, tells her to have a lovely night, and that is the way we end Love and Hip Hop New York Season 9, Episode 2, The Blame Game. Alright guys, so that's all I have for this episode. Go ahead and get into the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with the bell so you're notified every time that I release. And until next time.
Yeah, low key and maybe high key. I been peeped that you like.